Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 1 of the Officer series, Officer Guide, more like, for War of Rights. Episode 1 will basically be covering the basic structure of a Civil War company. And the very basic structure, and this will help any officers specifically, and these next few episodes are going to be specifically for officers that run companies or want to run companies. And so this is basic knowledge that an officer, at the very least, anyone that's higher up in a company should know, and maybe all the soldiers in War of Rights. So let's start off. So a company in the Civil War consisted of 100 men. This 100-man company was led by a captain. Now, officially, a company was supposed to be 100 men, but usually they were around 70 men. But this is all theoretical. So the company's led by has 100 men, led by a captain. So, from the 100 men, the 100 men are split into 2 separate platoons of 50 men apiece. Now, in the Civil War, how it was structured in the Civil War is a captain would lead one of the platoons, and the first lieutenant would lead another platoon. Or you might have lieutenants leading both platoons and the captain overseeing. Out of those 2 platoons, each platoon is split into 2 sections of 25 men apiece. So you have a platoon of 50 men, which is subdivided into 2 sections of 25 men apiece. Each section is led by a sergeant. So each 25-man section is led by a sergeant. Then it is even more subdivided into the last category, which is a squad. So a section has, in a full stock company, has 4 squads, theoretically. Each squad is led by a corporal. And these squads very much so depended on the size. You'd probably usually have about 6 men per squad. But if you only had a couple of corporals and a smaller platoon, you might even have up to 12 men, which is a rare circumstance. So overall, the company has 1 captain, which is the leader, a first lieutenant, which works directly with the captain, usually leading a platoon, the second lieutenant, which can work as the adjutant, or leading a platoon. That we'll talk more about the roles in a later episode. And then afterwards, you have a first sergeant, and the first sergeant oversees all of the whole company. Again, we'll touch more about that later. And you have 4 sergeants and 8 corporals. Just to review, a company is led by a captain. A platoon is led by the captain or a lieutenant. A section is led by a sergeant, and a squad by a corporal. That will conclude the first episode of the Officer Guide. It's a short episode. Most of these episodes probably will be, at least in my opinion. It's going to evolve as we progress through the series. I'll probably add more things that we're going to talk about. It's just how I work mentally. So, alright, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, have a pleasant